All right, ketosis for beginners. Now, one of my followers asked me to do a beginner video, so I'm gonna try and make this as short as I can. So what is ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic state that forces your body to use your stored fats as fuel instead of your dietary carbohydrates or your stored carbohydrates. So it is an entire metabolic shift, okay? So what it is it's between 70 to 85% fats, 15 or sometimes 10 to 20% proteins, or 5 to 10% carbs. So the idea is to limit the amount of carbohydrates and increase the ability for your stored fat to be mobilized and utilized as fuel. So why? Why do ketosis? Why am I a big proponent of it? So studies show that when you go on a low-fat diet, it's hard to maintain. But if you go on a high-fat diet, it's so much easier to maintain because you're happier, you have more energy, but also you have less restrictions, all right? So fats are yummy, they make you full, right? And they make you feel good, okay? Fats also have more calories per gram. Therefore, you're going to have more energy while intaking less calories. So then we have a caloric deficit, i.e. weight loss or better health benefits. Now also, while in ketosis, you're using a much more powerful and a much more potent source of fuel. Therefore, your body is running cleaner, your body is running faster, your body is able to utilize energy in a much more efficient state, okay? So the benefits of ketosis are literally, when it comes to, they're treated for cancers, epilepsy, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, of course, fat loss and overall weight loss. Ketosis, eat higher fat diets. They can lower your LDL cholesterol, raise your HDL cholesterol. They lower your blood sugar, right? They lower your insulin resistance and increase insulin sensitivity, lower blood pressure, and they make you overall more healthy than many other diets that have been around. I do not believe this is going to be a fad. I believe that this is, there's so much research behind the health benefits of it that I freaking love it, and I want you to love it too, all right? So how does it work? Basically, when your body is low on sugar, okay, the hormone called glucagon is going to rise, it's going to take over, okay? Insulin is incorporated with more higher carbohydrates, but when glucagon takes over, glucagon is your kind of cutting hormone. Glucagon is going to go into those stored forms of fats and triglycerides and your glucagon and your stored glycogen, and it's going to allow those stored forms of energy to be mobilized and used as energy. Whereas insulin is a storage hormone. So insulin, every time that you eat something, it's going to spike your insulin, and your insulin wants to store the things that you just ate. So insulin and glucagon have an inverse relationship. We're going to store food with insulin. We're going to burn food with glucagon itself, okay? Now, what happens, again, if your body is low on sugar, if your body is low on glycogen, carbs of that sort, all right, your glucagon is going to be released. It'll send a message, and your triglycerides or your stored forms of fats, they're going to be broken down. Those free fatty acids are going to be moved to the liver. The liver is going to take those free fatty acids and turn them into ketone bodies, all right? Those ketone bodies are then going to be sent out to your entire system and used for energy, from your brain to your muscle cells to your nerve endings. All that good stuff can use and function off of ketone bodies, okay? So again, insulin will always trump glucagon, okay? Insulin is a very powerful hormone. It will always trump glucagon. So whenever insulin is in high presence, then you're going to be in a position where your body will start to store energy as fat or as carbohydrates. Now, again, the higher levels of insulin, the less fat burning you're actually going to have, okay? The less burning you're going to have. So the goal is keep insulin low and at a moderate level so that our bodies can utilize our stored forms of fat. Pretty simple, okay? Now, your body will typically burn energy in this order. You have fast, quick, available energy called your ATP-PC system, okay? Don't worry about it. Just know that when you need to go run and jump somewhere really quickly, that is that system. It's already stored in your muscles, ready to go. The next is going to utilize your blood sugar. Next, it'll utilize stored muscle glycogen and liver glycogen. Now, as that runs down, you've got about 2,000 to 2,500 calories worth of stored carbohydrates in your body right about now, okay? So your body will then start to burn on those calories there. And then your body will start to utilize fats. Now, the average person, even a skinny person, is going to have around 77,000 calories worth of fat stored in their body. so your body can have a much better source of energy, and then you can be so much healthier, okay? So following after stored glycogen and your stored all that good stuff, your body is going to break down the triglycerides, turn them into ketone bodies for it to be used as energy. So how to do this ketogenic diet, okay? The most common macronutrient split, again, it is a diet, it is a macro split basis. The most common is about 70 to 75% fats. You're going to do 10 to 20% proteins, and then 5 to 10% carbohydrates. It is key. You want to keep your carbs between 25 and 50 grams per day. That's total grams per day. I personally try and keep it below 35 just for my own goals, okay? Now, the way you do it is you want to eat foods that are high in fats, okay? Of course, you know, we've got our eggs, our avocados, your high-fat meats like your red meats, your salmon, your nuts, seeds, and dairy. Those are food bases. You've got your olive oil, coconut oil, your MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, which are things that can bypass your entire system and go straight to the liver or bypass the liver and go straight to be converted as energy, okay? Then you also want to use caffeine. Caffeine is an amazing tool. Too much of anything is bad, but in the proper amount, caffeine, it helps you mobilize stored triglycerides to be utilized as energy. So caffeine, different herbs do the same thing, teas, vitamins, nutrients, all that good stuff, okay? Those are the basis of your ketogenic diet. Now, there are a few different types of this ketogenic lifestyle. The normal type that we just talked about is your standard or your more fitness-oriented with that 70 to 75%. There is a nutritional ketogenic diet for those that have cancer or epilepsy or other neurological disorders where they're going to do 85 to 95% fats and the remainder some carbs and some proteins in between, okay? There's also cyclical ketogenic diet. Now, what that means is you're going to have a refeed day of carbs. So about every 14 days or even more, you're going to refeed between 2 to sometimes 500 grams of carbohydrates. I have heard that some people may refeed or do their cyclical ketogenic every like 5 days of keto and 2 days of refeeding. Personally, it does not make sense because it takes about 7 days for your body to even enter into a full state of ketosis. And then it takes about 14 days, between 14 days and almost 3 or 4 weeks to actually become fat adapted where your body is naturally burning your stored fats. So I don't recommend the cyclical ketogenic if you do it, don't do it less than 14 days, okay? And then the last form is the targeted ketogenic diet. Let's say that you love carbs, but let's say that you are a strength or a power athlete and you do need those quick forms of energy, those stored carbohydrates to go fast, to do sprints, to do jumps, to do presses, pushes, all that good stuff. Then the targeted ketogenic diet is for you. What that means is you're going to take about 20 to 25 grams of carbohydrates before your workout. Therefore, so take it about half an hour to an hour prior to your workout, and your body will be primed and prepped to go hard, to get big, to lose weight, and do all that stuff. All right, that was the basics of the ketogenic diet by your girl, Coach Cailah.